Hey, welcome back to the Pretty Well podcast. I'm Lisa Smith, and today we are wrapping up the Biology of Belief series. This is part 3 in the Biology of Belief. For the past 2 episodes, we've been talking about what builds self-trust and emotional safety within us so that we can stop bracing and we can begin to truly see the needle move in different areas of our lives. And here's the thing, this is something I've noticed after years of working with dependable, self-reliant self-starters who are health conscious. So people who've been doing a lot of things right. They've got their nutrition dialed in, sleep, they're doing their best with stress management and physical activity, and their lives look good on paper. Their labs are pretty good. They know the language of health. They've invested time, money, energy into living their best lives and to feeling their best. But there's also this quiet, ongoing sense that something hasn't fully clicked. Not like a strong dissatisfaction or discontent with their lives, just like it's taking more effort than it should at this point in life and in all of the journey of what they've been doing with their time and their money and energy to feel their best. They're just not quite getting there. And it often sounds like this in our self-talk. I should be further along by now. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. Why does it feel like such a grind to be my healthiest? Why does it feel like I'm always striving? Why am I always chasing something? And for being honest, this is about the time that we start drifting into conversations about visualization and vision boards and manifesting our goals. And it's not because they're chasing something magical. It's because they can feel something's missing. And there's this sense that all the insight, all the learning, all the discipline aren't explaining why some changes and shifts can stick and some just quietly fade away. So today we're going to be talking about something deeper than mindset and more doable than what we learn in the manifestation world. We're going to be talking about the biology of becoming your new self, not fixing yourself, not adding on a few habits, not reinventing yourself, but why your body may not yet recognize the future you want as something it's ready to be. And once you acknowledge that, a lot of the frustration dissolves. Now, here's a reframe I want you to hold on to as we move through this episode. Your body is not resisting change because it's broken. It's resisting change because its purpose is to protect you, keep you safe, and keep you alive. Your biology is constantly asking this one question. Can this version of my life be sustained? Not is this exciting, not is this aspirational and inspirational, not even is this good for me in the long run? Is this what I want in the long term? But is it safe to go after those dreams that I want? Will I feel safe there? Safety and trust, not motivation, are the gatekeepers to identity. I'm going to say that again. Safety and trust are the gatekeepers to identity. And this is where most personal growth conversations miss the mark. We're taught to think if I want it badly enough, if I understand it well enough, if I plan, if I do all the right things and I work hard enough, I will get to my dream life. My life will change and I will achieve my dreams. As we talked about last week, the body doesn't run on logic and it doesn't run on words. Those are gibberish. It runs on familiarity, patterns, which your body relies on to determine whether or not it's safe. So you can think of the body as being a software program, and the software program is already running and it's already telling you these criteria mean X and these criteria mean Y. X is safety, Y is not safety. We're going for X. It doesn't matter what your new typed in command tells the software program. That's not what it's running on. It's running on X is safe. Y might be what my mind is dreaming about, but my body says, I don't perceive that as being safe. Because your body runs on familiarity and not intention, that's the sticking point. We hear the word beliefs a lot, especially now. In this day and age, it's so popular. Beliefs, manifestation, visualization, how to achieve the life you want, especially when it's bundled in with beliefs, emotions, thoughts, actions. That's this bundle. And honestly, our ears can get kind of numb to it, and it can start to feel overused, hard to get excited about because we hear it over and over again. So let's ground it. When I'm saying beliefs, what I mean are the repeated thoughts and emotions that your body has learned to organize around. It's operating system, it's software. This is what we run on. And those are those repeated thoughts and emotions. They make those beliefs, and those beliefs are the subconscious parts of us that determine our safety. And those beliefs are not what you're consciously thinking. They're deep inside of you, what your body is running on. Your body is not running on affirmations. It's not even being touched by affirmations. Your body responds to your patterns. And those patterns could be patterns of urgency, patterns of stress, holding everything together, doing all the things and keeping all the balls in the air. Those are our patterns. And over time, those patterns become our personality, our identity, and then they become our biology. If you've ever said, and I have said this many times, I tend to be type A. What I've learned is that what I'm actually saying is I run on urgency. I run on, I have to get all this done. And so I'm type A. I got to get this stuff done. That determines my personality. That determines my identity. And that determines my biology. So what is your identity? Your identity is who your body thinks you need to be in order to survive and succeed. That's why two people who can want the same exact goals in life, freedom, health, ease, longevity, success, they can want all those same goals, but have completely different paths and journeys and experiences in getting there. And maybe one will get there and one won't get there because one person might trust the process, the expansion and what's coming to them and what they're receiving, while another person has to strive and push and control it and braces against it. Same exact desires, totally different identities, most likely totally different outcomes. When we look at the health of those two individuals, we'll see totally different health profiles years down the road as well. So let's talk about something we don't often talk about. Many high-achieving, health-conscious women may or may not admit, I know how to take care of myself. I do. I know all the things. But I'm afraid that if I let something go, I can't trust that it won't all fall apart. I can't trust that if I don't constantly maintain it, I won't lose what I've built so far. It can also feel like I know all the things I'm supposed to do for my health and I'm doing it, but my body hasn't gotten the message that my brain knows. And this one can really hit a nerve. I want to age beautifully and not just look my best, but also feel sharp, feel good, have energy, be healthy and at ease, and be comfortable in my own skin. But I'm afraid if I don't check all these things off every day, there's no way I'll be able to maintain it. And before you know it, I'll age overnight. None of that makes you out of control or not keeping up. It just means that you're paying attention. You're perceptive and saying, okay, I'm doing all these things, but how long is this sustainable? And do I have to do this for the rest of my life? Is this what it looks like? Or is there another way? And let's talk about the body piece of it for a second, because this gets really interesting. When I use the word somatic, you'll see somatic healing and different things. That just means experience in your body, not your thoughts, not analyzing something, but actually feeling it. That's somatic. And your body learns through sensation and repetition and response. And one of the key players that is not talked about often enough is our fascia, connective tissue. And when you're making chicken breast for dinner and there's that white kind of slimy part, that's part of the fascia of the chicken. But we have that everywhere. It's a webbing all throughout our body. It covers our muscles, nerves, bones, and our organs, everything. But importantly, it listens, records, and adapts to how you move through life. So whether you're under stress and pressure, whether you're feeling protective, bracing, holding, for example, even holding your breath and not even realizing it, over time, your fascia becomes a living memory in your body. So when you read books like The Body Keeps the Score or When the Body Says No, these different books that talk about the body holding the emotions, what it's doing is holding the memory within the physical structure of who you are, meaning it stores your memories, your traumas, your fears, your anxiety. It actually stores them and holds on to them in different places in your body. So you've spent years being the responsible one, the one that never lets any of the details fall, the one who's the high performer who never falls apart under pressure. You've been the one who holds the pieces all together. Your fascia has adapted to that role. Your fascia says, okay, this is our identity. This is who we are, which means when you try to soften, when you try to stop bracing and exhale, you may notice your body doesn't respond. It doesn't say, oh, okay, I'm safe now. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to stop bracing. No. It goes, wait, what? No, we've been in survival mode forever. There's no way I'm going to believe this and let my guard down now. That's not a good idea. That may not lead to our survival. Fascia can get as hard as steel. A lot of us carry our stress up here. Have you ever noticed it feels like a rock? That's your fascia. I always thought that was muscles until I learned about fascia. Actually, your fascia, it changes its form and it'll clamp down like steel, especially when it's used to bracing all the time. That's why just pure insight in your mind doesn't create change. It's not that your body is arguing with you. It's not rebelling against your desires. It's protecting you. And it thinks it's keeping you alive. And this is where manifestation conversations can get interesting and a little misleading. What people often refer to as manifestation is often identity alignment. When you hear someone, maybe a YouTuber, saying, when I stopped trying so hard, when I stopped chasing this thing or this person or this job or this dream, everything started flowing. What really is happening under the surface is the body finally started to trust that it was safe to step into this version of life. So it's not magic and it's not woo, it's permission that your body is finally on board with your goals and saying, okay, I can feel safe there. And it's letting go of resistance. It's letting go of friction. This is why you often hear, especially in manifestation conversations, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are when your body feels safe to be there. So that safety, it's when your body feels safe enough to move forward. That's when you start to notice progress. Yes, it involves letting go. Yes, it involves stopping striving because your body equates that striving and that perfectionism with survival. So the cortisol is high and all the stress hormones are high and you're in survival mode. So it's not creating, it's surviving. As you remove the resistance and friction and begin to be able to release into it and feel safe, that's when you remove the invisible barriers that are keeping you from pursuing the things and accomplishments in life, the things in life that you want, the goals in life that you're hoping for and dreaming of. So how does identity actually change? It doesn't have to be this esoteric, hard to nail down thing. There are 4 steps, and the first one is meditate. That doesn't mean you have to sit and say Om. It doesn't mean you have to listen to apps. It just literally means to be quiet and still, to turn off all distractions, set aside a little bit of time and get very quiet and still. That's why meditation people usually start with some deep breathing because it allows your body to come out of fight or flight and to get still, which allows it to soften and stop bracing. Sometimes the word meditation throws people way off and they say, I can't meditate. Okay, so let's not call it that. Let's say get really still and quiet and take a few breaths and begin to allow the friction to calm down. Close your eyes and notice, where's your body uncomfortable? Where does it brace? Where does it start to contract? And notice what that feels like in your body. That awareness is important. Now that you've done that, pretty simple, right? You could do that in 2 minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes. The next step is to regulate. So we first calm down, and then I'm asking you to notice where you're not calm and now regulate it. If I don't feel calm about this part of my life, I don't feel like I'm keeping up, I don't feel like it's what I want, I feel stress around the situation, whatever it is. Okay, feel it, sit with it, and now regulate it. That goes back to that deep breathing again. Deep breathing now tells your body that you are in a place of safety. Physiologically, your brain knows you're safe. Now you're telling your body, I am safe. And you're overriding the body's desire to keep you in fight or flight. And you're bringing yourself out of it and telling yourself it's okay to soften. The third step is to release. Now that you're coming out of fight or flight, pay attention to your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, your belly. These are the places where we tend to tense up. Pay attention to all those places where you hold that stress. As you're deep breathing, and begin to let them soften, let them release. You're telling your fascia, it's okay. I know that you've built this armor for me to keep me safe all these years. You have stepped into this identity and you've done this great job. Now keep in mind, this takes patience and it just takes persistence because your fascia has developed like armor. It was to keep you alive and to protect you. It's a good thing. It's not against you. But you need to treat it almost like you treat a young child who hasn't quite gotten the point yet. And it's just repetition, just practice and patience. And it allows your fascia to begin to see, oh, there's another way. And maybe that would be okay to soften. Meditate, regulate, release, and respond. Only now that you've done the first 3 steps do new options feel possible. This is where you begin to visualize and feel the emotions of what it is that you want for your life, what your goals are, what you want to achieve in your life, your relationships, your career, your family, whatever it may be. You've done the 3 steps first. This allows you now to see that from an angle of safety, not pressure, not forcing or striving or making things happen, but being aligned and in receiving mode, being able to receive what's coming on your path that's going to help get to those things you're dreaming of, but in a way that you are regulated, you're released, you're safe, and your body is now on the same team as your mind, and you're moving forward. You're not a boat with 2 rowers and one's rowing forward and one's rowing backward. Now you're both rowing forward in the same direction. These 4 steps, they're so doable. Just what we did, it literally could be in 5 to 10 minutes. You could do this once a day, and you're sending a new system to your body that it is safe to look for the next level in your identity, what those next goals are that you're excited about. These 4 steps are when you move out of survival mode and into safety, calm, and content mode. And this is where you begin to see the needle move and you create those dreams in your life. This is why this is the 101 when people say in manifestation conversations, when I let go, everything happened. Well, this is how do you do that? And the why, it's not woo, it's physiologically, biologically, why this actually works. If you've been listening to this and something is clicking, this is a great time to pause and journal. If you have a journal, write down this one question. Where in my life am I bracing for something that's no longer happening? I developed this tool, this coping tool, usually as a kid, to protect me and help me to get my needs met. Where am I using that old, outdated tool that no longer works? Think of those tools as if you were a little kid and you had one of those like pretend toolboxes, the little kid version with the plastic drill and the plastic screwdriver, and they really don't do anything, but they look like they do. So when you're little, they feel like you're doing something. Think of those old tools you developed to get what you needed at some point in your younger years. Think of those tools as what you have to work with right now and why those are holding you back. Because there are way better tools on the market and you can go get those tools and apply to your own life. That may be why I'm triggered when my spouse says something like this or something happens at work and then I'm triggered. Those are those old tools. You can let go of those. And that 4-step process I just share with you is the starting point to doing that. If you have a place to journal, journal it. If you don't, in the link below, my morning mindset journal, it's amazing. I developed it for myself. I found it to be tremendously helpful. I made it better and added an evening part, but kept the morning mindset name and got lots of feedback from people that they love it. So go pick it up in the show notes if you don't have one you're already using, and let me know how you like it. Now, here's what I want to leave you with. You don't have to strive to be someone else. When I'm talking about changing your identity, you're not looking to change into someone new. You're amazing as you are. What you want to do is give your body permission to trust who you're becoming, who you're growing into. The life you want is not waiting on more effort and more striving. It's waiting on safety and permission in your journey. And once your body begins to recognize that with ease and trust, and not with constant pushing and vigilance, things begin to change quietly, naturally, and permanently. I hope that you've enjoyed the past 3 episodes on the biology of belief, that you found this information to be as powerful as I have. I found it to be life-changing. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to coming back and talking with you.